Gentlemen, everybody, welcome to the 2025 Kickstart Invitational podcast, where we dive into the soul of the Kickstart Invitational. I'm, of course, your host, Kyle Steffi, alongside Justin and Carter McPhail. In each episode, we'll be bringing you the latest developments, expert analysis, behind-the-scenes interviews, and exclusive insights of the Kickstart Invitational. Coming up here in May, Justin and Carter, how are we doing?
I'm doing good, Cal. Thank you.
Doing well.
You guys ever answered differently to that question? Should I change that question up, do we think?
You want me
I'm
to
doing
answer
shitty.
truthfully?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm a little bit upset about the weather outside right now, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Seeing snow go away.
I was really hoping for like a mid-April start. But it's whatever. It's fine, I guess.
I am unemployed. I got no team to play on yet. Waiting for the phone to ring, so my camera goes off in the middle of this. Yeah, soon to be homeless May 16th.
So maybe there's nothing wrong with my question. More so, maybe more honest answers out of the McPhail camp.
If you want to start the podcast on a low note, we can.
We have an awesome guest with us today, one that's been so anticipated since his last appearance. But of course, as he knows and as we know, we got to pay the bills. Carter, why don't you get us over to our good friends at Dunham's here?
Sure thing, Kyle. Like always, this episode of the podcast is proudly sponsored by Dunham Sports, your one-stop destination for all things sporting goods. Whether you're into hunting, fishing, or loving every day, Dunham's has everything you need to elevate your experience in the great outdoors. Get ready to step up your game with Dunham's exclusive offer. Use code Kickstart25 for an amazing 25% off on all golf gear and accessories. Exclusions may apply.
They always do, it feels like. Yeah, obviously, huge guest here. Very, very special guest with us here. True definition of a legend. This guy is a two-time Kickstart Invitational champion, Traverse City West alumni, proud father of two dogs, big-time spokesperson for the No One Chundies Alone movement. Has been compared to Russell Westbrook when it comes to his golf game. And many people say maybe the most important man on the trip. Warm welcome to Dan Henderson.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Appreciate you joining us here, Dan.
Very, very honored. Long drink beer sponsor here. See lots of these at the Kickstart.
Absolutely.
Shout out Long Drink. Shout out Alliance Beverage. Before we get into the nitty gritty of the pod, Dan, first question for everybody. What does the Kickstart mean to you?
It's quickly turning into a getaway from the chaos around the Traverse City area. I got weddings and bachelor parties and all these things going on, and honestly, I'm getting sick of it. I just want to go to Grand Rapids with the fellas. So
too many friends.
I'm capped out. I made a little more room for the four we're adding for the Kickstart this year, but that's it.
Made some moves at the deadline.
Liam's the last friend, unfortunately, for Dan's Rolodex.
I physically cannot afford any more of this, or financially, to be honest with you. So
Dan's going to have problems if somebody on the trip misses and we get an alternate. And Dan's just going to show up and be like, yeah, sorry.
So let me ask this. If that happens, Dan, do you just not talk to that person until they get off of your wait list, your friend wait list? Or can you interact with that person in an unfriendly way?
I can interact with them, but there's like we were talking about tier lists. Like you got to reach a certain tier before I'm willing to spend like over $1,000 to go somewhere with you. And if I have some random stranger tell me to fly to Arizona for a bachelor party and play golf in 48-degree weather like I did last Friday, I'm probably going to say no next time, to be honest with you. So
it makes me wonder which tier we're in that you'll agree to spend about $450 to $550 to go to Grand Rapids.
Oh, so well, you guys were already in the group, so you're good.
I was going to ask what if you were to take your tier list of fast food restaurants and apply it to that friend rule, what fast food restaurant would a friend have to be before they're in?
Oh man.
Mental gymnastics here. Multiple
Yeah, you put me on the
parallels.
spot. If you're below if you're in like the C tier or lower, I'm like I'll be your friend and whatnot. I'll be cordial and civil, but like I don't have enough time or money in the day to go to all these places. I just don't.
So what would that be for a fast food restaurant? A C tier.
Oh boy. Probably like Burger King for me.
A little high, but I'll take it.
A lot of those people around, might not stop by if you're cruising through town, but you know, they're always around. You'd stop there if you had to, or if you were
Yeah.
really feeling like it.
Well, here's the example. Like the bachelor party that I just went to. Like I've hung out with this guy mostly only with his soon-to-be wife, and
Okay.
his fiance is joined at the hip with my wife. So she's the maid of honor. We don't really hang out a ton, but I got invited to his batch party and I'm in his wedding. So it's kind of tough to escape that one. So I guess just if you're going to have me in your wedding, let me know like 9 months to a year in advance so I can start saving some money.
For real. Speaking of new friends, new people, we've had them all on the podcast. I know you're a day one listener of the program. Any initial thoughts on the new guys, whether it be word of mouth or just what you thought from their podcasts? General thoughts on these guys.
I'm excited to meet them all. They all seem like they're really good guys. It sounds like a lot of them are putting some time in. I think Justin went down and golfed with Nate and Preston and Mac, and Joey's he's spent the money on some new sticks. It looks like so we're all kind of gearing up. I'm excited to meet all these guys. So Liam's he got buried on the mock draft, but I mean, sounds like a fantastic guy. He loves beers. I love beers. We'll get along just fine.
Yeah. Speaking of Liam, we're gonna have a redemption arc for him here. This podcast soon to come here for those listening in the car.
Little Jerry Springer style.
I know we added a new course, Dan. It's hard to get your opinion on a course you've never played, but what's your favorite course in the trip so far, and any initial thoughts on Stoughton Bray?
Still a big fan of Diamond Springs. I didn't play well there again, and I felt bad because I had Justin with me in the cart the first round. I feel like I was letting my dad down, but just the way the course is laid out, there's some tough holes. There are some very very easy gettable holes. Just need to perform better. Like driving myself nuts and feel like I'm kind of struggling a little, but put some work in this off season. Played a little more outdoor golf, and as far as the winter goes, by taking these trips, playing some pretty solid golf. So hopefully that transitions to outside. Stoughton Bray. I think the only thing I really have to compare it to is the South Course, and I know it's probably a little different. I think Mac was talking about the heather there a little bit, and I don't know if that's going to be everywhere. I don't know if it's going to be uh, as much of a factor or more of a factor as the South Course. So just the links style, I enjoy it. You're going to have a tough time probably losing a ball, but you're going to have a tough time holding the green too if it's windy that day. So
Probably.
I'm excited, just different style. We're going to go from trying to dodge thick rough and trees one day to really having no issue losing a ball, but going to be a different kind of challenge. So whoever can adapt the best is, I guess, going to play the best throughout the whole trip.
Do we think knowing that makes that course Fetty's best or worst course?
I think it's gonna depend on how much that heather has grown up in the early spring here in the month of April. But it looks fairly wide off the tee too. It's just if you do get it off the fairway in that a little bit of rough, you we'll be checking for ticks maybe. It's real warm out.
Kyle, were you indicating Fetty's best course of play or best golf ball hunting?
What? Where?
Whoa!
Oh. Whoa!
Whoa!
Dan, do you realize what just happened?
No, Dan can't see his camera, but the
Just
motion
panned a
of his
straight
long
grumble.
drink just caught the attention of the camera briefly.
All
So
right. I hate this thing. My apologies, fellas.
no, you're fine.
No,
You're
it was
fine.
perfectly okay.
I think we kind of decided in the group chat, Cart, that those two things are sort of tied together. That if he plays good golf, then he's not going to find a lot of golf balls. So
Inverse relationship.
yeah,
Yeah, I hope Fetty can come so bad. It doesn't look great, does it?
I need
No,
him. I
well,
need him there.
yeah. If he keeps playing well, then that's tough for the kickstart, but we'll be rooting for him.
The Admirals are playing unbelievable, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Bringing in Parker here. P, how we doing?
There's our blue collar worker.
What up?
How you doing, P?
Just getting home from work.
Ooh.
I appreciate you
Happy to
joining
see-
them.
Happy to see you guys, though.
Yeah.
I
Man.
appreciate you joining
For
us.
now.
For those who maybe missed the episode, Parker is the Mel Kiper Jr., if you will, of the Kickstart Invitational. Is there official title for him here that we have?
Draft analyst.
Draft analyst. Well, P, we wanted to get your thoughts. I know you ranked Dan at the 5-2 here. What do you think about Dan's draft stock here? Up or down?
I mean, the recent scores recently definitely up. Like, dude's been on fire. Looking at the stats coming in, definitely see Dan moving up the board, no doubt.
Oh, hey, Liam.
Yeah. Hey guys.
How you doing, Liam?
No, I'm doing all right.
Now, Parker, you also made some comments. I think, maybe they were in jest. They didn't come off that way, but about our other guest here. Is there anything you'd like to say now that you've got him face to face?
Well, I've hit the simulator with Liam a couple times since then. And yeah, he's definitely the last pick.
Come on.
I love you, Liam. I'm just kidding. You listen.
So, I think that's going back on his initial analysis, because previously he did rank Nate as the last pick, but
Yeah, which I need to clear that up too, if I can.
That's why
certainly.
you're here.
Okay, well, I backtracked on it because Nate obviously should have never been the last pick. It was my big board was not correct when I came into the call, and I didn't have Nate on the list. So that's on me. Nate is definitely shouldn't have been the last pick. Sorry, Liam. That's why I hit you so hard, because I felt bad because I forgot about Nate. You're definitely not a bad golfer. I just felt bad. And then I thought it'd be funny to do that to your face, but you really are not that bad a golfer.
Listen, I know I'm not a good golfer. I anticipated to be last pick. All right, I'm fine with that. But I didn't need to be drilled for 10 minutes on the podcast.
Yeah.
I was excited. I thought it was a good idea for the pod. Fun to listen. Learn a little bit about these guys and their golf game. Get to the end, And it's just 10 minutes. This guy sucked. You guys don't want him on your team. He's going to pick up the ball, all this shit. We want to talk about simulator. I'm pretty sure you were my teammate, and we lost to Joey and Tony. So
We did. I was
Hey, I didn't
trash
help
at
out,
Sim
but
too. No, I was trash at the sim too, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, sorry,
fucking
Liam, but
Sim.
I'm just giving you a chip on your shoulder. You're welcome.
Yeah,
I
no,
know
I
how
mean,
you perform.
The
there's
apology
zero
to immediate
expectation for me now.
self-compliment.
So yeah, zero expectation. I'm happy to be on Tricky's team because he's stuck with me. But
Hey, trade might happen. Trade might happen.
Liam, if you're there in the 7th, you're a conductor.
perfect.
Just want you to know that.
Update
I
the
was gonna
list.
do not draft.
Brilliant.
Big-
Brilliant confidence boost for you there, Liam. If you're available
Yeah.
in the last round, Carter will grab you.
Love to hear it.
If he has both of the last
Kyle,
round
can
picks.
you remind me of my list so I can jot it down? I don't want to go back on any of my words.
I know, I'm looking for it actually. This is good podcasting, am I right?
Yeah, this is good.
Welcome
good
to Six Guys
airtime.
on the Computer.
Parker and Liam, I think, we've accomplished what we wanted to accomplish for this segment here. I want to take the time to thank you both for joining us at the end. And we'll hop off. You guys will be able to listen to this great episode about Dan Henderson, and later on we're gonna break down a new segment. I think you guys will both be excited for. So thanks for hopping on.
Sweet.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
Hit the
you guys.
range,
doing
Liam.
this.
Hit the range.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
That was funny. Carter, you are confirmed not drafting yourself, Tricky, Justin, Cullen, and Liam. Guys that Carter is drafting.
No, I am drafting Liam.
No. Hold on. This was the well. We're
Okay,
getting
sorry.
on it.
Sorry.
Carter is drafting Preston, quote, in the 6th or the 7th round, and now also Liam in the 7th round.
Okay. I can, yeah. Good strat.
Feels a little bit like he's pigeonholing himself, but
I know we might get to a situation where we get to that 3rd or 4th round and I go, can't pick any of these, can't pick these guys. Gotta wait. I might just trade all my middle picks for the end pick so I can keep my word.
that would be tough. If one of those guys you're not gonna draft is down there, then what are you gonna do? Tell him back up the car? You're not on
The
either
tribe has
team.
spoken.
So
I consider myself a man of honor.
we'll talk a little bit more about our featured guest here. We got some stats for you, some notable stats here about Dan Henderson, a 2-time runner-up in the Carlisle Fraser Unsung Hero Award voting. He's got an all-time record of 1-4-3, including 1-1-0 in singles. He has actually been excelling at the mines, which I think the two captains may want to keep in mind. His scoring average there is 77.5. That's the best of the 3 courses if you break it down by where he's played well. Although actually his second round at Diamond Springs last year was his best round in the event. He gained 2.25 strokes in that round. So he actually played pretty well once I think maybe he was out of the embarrassment of letting his dad down, as he said before. But he played well. I think it makes sense that he likes Diamond Springs. He has traditionally played the best at the mines though. So, Dan, do you have a favorite Kickstart memory? We talk about one certain round amongst the group, but is there a different one, or maybe that's the one, and how do you remember it?
We've talked about it in the past, but it's the way we got rerouted in that second round would have been the second Kickstart. And it came down to Tricky and Preston being up 1 going to the last hole, which was the 9th hole. And it was Kyle and I, and it was just, we knew what we had to do. And everyone hit good shots off the tee, and it just unfortunately for Preston came down to a putt. But
And Tricky. Don't
and
leave him
Tricky,
off of it.
But to have all the guys on the tee box for, I mean, other than the first hole of the Mines, like no one else is, or there isn't another hole where we're all standing on the tee box ready to rip. And just the way things kind of worked out, like the sun was going down, it was dramatic ending, like it was cool, and we all hit good tee shots. It was a fun way to end it. So
Absolutely. Cart, why don't you give us the Dan Henderson player profile from the scouts' perspective?
Sure thing. Dan Henderson, Traverse City, Michigan native. He's a man of bold plays, big swings, and even bigger personality. He's known for his volatile game. Dan's ability to launch towering drives is only matched by his unwavering confidence in escaping trouble, whether or not it's warranted. With a career plus minus rating of minus 48 on the Long Drink Men's League hockey team, he is no stranger to adversity, but he thrives in chaos. Statistically, Dan enters the 2025 Kickstart Invitational with a 78.75 scoring average, but has been trending in the wrong direction, posting a minus 1.75 strokes gain total in 2024. Despite this, no one doubts his ability to flip the switch at any moment. Our Western Michigan scouting team describes him best. He plays fast, loose, and aggressive. You never know what's coming next. A little bit of wild thing from Major League in his approach, but sometimes that unpredictability works in his favor. Off course, Dan is a key figure in the Kickstart Invitational community, serving as the tournament's direct connection to its official hydration sponsor, Alliance Beverage. Dan is married to Kaylin Henderson, and he knows the importance of balance, but when the competition starts, all bets are off. With his fearless style and potential for fireworks, Dan remains one of the most entertaining and unpredictable players in the field. Welcome back, Dan.
that was a spot on scouting report.
It couldn't have been more spot on.
The scouts got it right. The scouts got it right.
They usually
Sometimes
do.
they do. Yeah.
I mean, 3 years in a row, something's going right at the conductors camp over there.
Yeah.
Now, Dan, I gotta ask, because I know we've had discussions at nauseum over beers, not during February because you were doing dry February.
Until you broke me. But yeah.
Twice even, I think.
Yeah.
The handicap situation. Run us through where you're at there. I know you've texted us a couple times letting us know scrambles and not scrambles. How are you feeling about the handicap now and where it's looking?
So first year, I would think I was a 13. I was a 10 last year. I'm right around the 7. So I guess the game statistically is improving, but obviously when you get out on the course, different courses that you don't play that often, the dots, I wish I had more, but
everybody does.
Yeah, as far as the handicap goes, I don't know. I think I need to get a USGA one because the 18 birdies one, I feel like it's kind of a weird way of calculating things from my point of view. But no, when I'm playing good rounds, like I just got done playing a course that I had never played before in Arizona, and I shot 8 over 80. Like I'm right there at my handicap. Like I had a birdie putt for a 79. Like if I'm shooting right around 80, like I think that's all my future captain, whoever drafts me, is gonna want me to do. I just gotta do what I need to do personally to stay consistent, play almost some more boring golf. Like Carter talked about my volatility. Like there is nothing wrong with just making sure you get in the fairway, get on the green, 2-putt, get out of there. So I gotta kind of swallow my pride a little bit and stop aiming for the flag sometimes and stop trying to go driver 3-wood on par 5s. Like just got to play a little safer. I'll shoot closer to my handicap going forward. So
We also have a good plan of playing the toughest courses up here in TC between now and May 14th. So
yeah, absolutely. Justin talks.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah, Justin talks about me playing interlock and front 9, back 9 all the time. Like that doesn't prep me for this trip at all.
Yeah, that's not very much like the Mines or Diamond Springs or Pilgrim's Run.
No, so in the future I'll be in a league. I made a change this summer where I'm playing the 3 resort courses. I don't know if they're comparable to the Mines or even like Stoughton Bray, but just more challenging courses. Just being better at like managing them, and it'll translate, I think. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Just
People
looking
talk-
at some of Dan's 18 birdies data here. Average score 84, par or better. He's making 7 around. That's going to be pretty good with a lot of dots. Double or worse, 2.8 around. It's fine in that range, honestly.
yeah,
Averaging about 0.8 strokes over par on par 3s and par 4s. Par 5 is making about 5.6 on average. So for his handicap range, he's appetizing as a captain, I'll say. Hitting 53% of fairways. Not bad for a guy that sometimes can really, really bomb it.
53% is pretty good, and with that, you'd like to see the blow up holes come down and the pars come up. Bogeys, don't generally hurt you when you have dots. But if all your strokes are coming from blow up holes, that's where you get the reputation that Dan has got, right? So we'll see what happens. I do like your guys' plan there of getting out and playing some different places, and trying to see if your handicap can travel, or if it might bump up a tiny bit for you, or even if you are able to go different places and play well, then that's going to bode well for even if your handicap comes down, it just shows that you're playing well enough to overcome that, for sure.
yeah.
And push comes to shove, Dan. There's some mountains that are blue waiting for you at the old Kickstart Invitational. I think that could be a secret weapon.
I just need something to stay relaxed. Like we're at the no, I mean Carter, we're like I could get paired with anyone. I might get paired with someone that doesn't know my game or doesn't know what's gonna keep me in the slot. I just gotta do that myself. That might be the tool I need this year, unfortunately. But we'll see.
Just a little something to take the edge off.
Yeah.
That's all he needs.
Quiet the voices.
It hasn't been tried yet at the Kickstart, and I don't see why not. Why not Dan?
Yeah.
We've all been worried about getting sunburned and being dehydrated on the rounds we've had. So,
My God, if we ever.
The schedule can help. This new schedule could help. Hal, why don't you lay out our next segment here?
Yeah, we got a new segment presented by Alliance Beverage. We're calling it, and we're workshopping it a little bit. Golfer or plays golf. And before I do describe that segment to you, we do have an ad read from our special sponsor, Alliance Beverage.
Our little Pookie. Little Pookie sponsor.
This segment of the Kickstart Invitational podcast is sponsored by Alliance Beverage. We don't know if they know that they sponsor part of the trip or this podcast. I mean, closed circles, they know, but big picture, maybe not. They're a local beer distributor here in Traverse City. Alliance exists to help fulfill and enhance the quality of lives of their associates, customers, suppliers, and community. Alliance is here to support the Kickstart Invitational Draft, the event, this podcast, and the pursuit of great golf and great friends. So thanks, Dan. Thanks to Mike, Dan's boss. That's where our thank you stop, I think, at Alliance Beverage, but we do appreciate those couple guys.
Dan, off the record, not that this is being recorded, not going to go on YouTube publicly for anybody and everybody to see. We like fuck your boss's boss, right?
It's my boss's 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 boss. It's way up the ladder. It's someone who can swipe a credit card for 20 custom hockey jerseys and not get in trouble for it. So that guy kind of ghosted me. I don't know how many fingers I need to hold up, but Justin and I could agree there's a lot of ghosting going on when
it was a tough scene.
In pursuit of some jerseys. When alleged jerseys were ordered in August and we don't get them until December, you start asking questions. So
yeah, you know who doesn't ask questions? Some of those guys in the warehouse that be looking the other way when Dan comes through.
Listen,
we'll shout out those guys too.
You gotta
shout out those guys.
You gotta check the vacation schedule, figure out when all the important people that are in the office are not there. I don't know where the stuff comes from, but it shows up at an Airbnb in Grand Rapids the same time every year. So
look, GJ's had a couple customers. They needed some golf bags. I don't know what happened. Okay, there were some sunglasses. They were having a promotion. All right, it's fine.
You hit the nail on the head. That's all it was.
Fine. Kyle, what do we got coming up here?
Shout out Dan. Shout out Dan's boss. Shout out Alliance Beverage. Golfer or plays golf. The age-old debate in the basketball world, specifically the NBA, basketball player or hooper.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing here with the Kickstart Invitational. Just for the sake of example, laying out, what could be what. A hooper would be like Allen Iverson, Luka Doncic, guys like that are just bringing the show, high-level players. They got a little flash in their game.
Derrick Rose,
hooper. Russell Westbrook, hooper. But then there's basketball players, and I don't want to sit here and say basketball players are better or worse. I think LeBron James, the GOAT, is a basketball player. I think Chris Paul is a basketball player. Cade Cunningham, basketball player. These are guys that are not worse. They are not worse as basketball players because they're not hoopers. They just have a different style. That being said, golfer or plays golf. Golfer is a hooper in this conversation here. Plays golf is a basketball player in this conversation. If that needs any explanation, I can give that to you guys. But for those listening at home, you can't really ask questions here.
No.
Yeah, you put them in the comments.
Ask them at the end of the class. Yeah.
Put them in the chat.
So what we're going to do is we're all going to go around, say if we think they're a golfer or if they play golf. And then after that, we're going to take a little bit of a bit from last year's Cody episode, and we're all going to try and consensusly agree to compare them to somebody. Who that is, I don't know yet. Celebrity, athlete, it don't matter.
Just try to match their vibe.
But instead of us having our own separate pre-researched people, we're going to try and come up with it as a group. I think that'd be fun. To start us off here, one that I think will be a consensus, but we'll see. We got Austin Esser. What do we think here, Dan? Golfer that plays golf.
I have Esser as a golfer. He's got a little bit,
Drop it.
He's got a little cut in him, Yep. He's got a little bit. Justin and I had a round against Esser at the Mines last year, and him and Cody. While we're on the topic of Cody, and there were a couple holes that we thought we had them, and they just came out of nowhere and tied us on the hole, maybe even won the hole. Esser, when he's hot, like Carter, you can attest to it. Like when he's hot, and he's got that it factor at times. Makes him a tough opponent and potentially a great player on your team. So I have him as a golfer.
I agree.
I have him as plays golf.
Really?
And I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're describing, Dan. But I think that actually his actual golf game doesn't match up with like his style and his vibe kind of off the course. He actually plays a pretty, in my opinion, fairly conservative, like pretty smart, kind of down the middle type game. He doesn't bomb it past everybody in the group. He doesn't, he's not taking wedges right at the flags all the time and stuffing them in there to like 2 feet or, getting up and down. He got up and down from some crazy places for sure. But it doesn't seem like he's doing that on every hole. I think he's kind of a bit more structured. I think he's the type of guy that is out there playing some golf.
I know I got him on a tough round, but it feels like he plays off of vibes. And I don't love the word vibes, but I feel like he's a vibes guy that just rides the wave, good or bad, and to me that's a golfer. That's
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying. He's not nuking it. He's not doing anything flashy. So I get it. But do we have a comparison? Anybody want to throw a name in the hat for Austin Esser?
Sauce Gardner,
Oh,
just the drip god.
That ain't bad.
Yeah.
That ain't bad. Very good at what he does as well.
Yeah, like flashy off the field, on the field, does his job.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll take
It's
that.
pretty
Actually.
good.
I don't know if I
Looks
have a
kind of
better
like
one.
him too. Some Slim Reaper tendencies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A picture of Sauce Gardner and a picture of Esser right next to each other.
Indiscernible.
You'll do a double take.
They are the same.
Who do you guys got next?
Member of the program, Carter McPhail, 3-time champ, captain of the conductors. I imagine we're gonna be all four of us aligned here, but somebody throw it out.
This dude is a golfer.
This dude's a golfer.
Yeah, GAWLFER, golfer. Okay. You can hear it. You heard it in the video that was sent of Kyle's swing. You can hear the golfer going on in the background. You don't see him back there taking it halfway back, checking his posture. There ain't none of that going on. Okay. He's trying to hit it on the green on the first shot, and if he doesn't, he's trying to hit it in the hole with the next shot. To me, that's the definition golfer.
Absolutely.
I mean, I knew this is where it was going. It's hard based on my past to debate this. However, I will say I'm attempting in the last few years here to work my way back the other end of the spectrum to be more of a plays golf kind of guy to reel it in. That being said, though, when we get to the Kickstart, I kind of always have had this feeling that I got a little bit of a target on my back. And sometimes you got to reach into your bag a little bit, right? As the NBA players say. And, I'm going to make you come out and beat me. I'm not known for playing it overly safe myself. So, yeah, I'm going to go out and get mine. And you better chase me down. It's kind of the mentality.
We're on the same page. He's a golfer here. At a GAWLFER. ERJ.
Yeah, that's right.
Phonetically.
Oh yeah.
I got a player comp for him.
I do
Yeah.
too. I'm curious on yours first.
I kind of think Carter's like a more successful, more efficient version of myself as far as like style of play. But I have Carter as Matt Stafford.
Ooh.
Okay.
Just a gamer. There's really no quitting the guy. Gunslinger style of play. Has hero shot ability. Also, the flip side of that could be detrimental. Not afraid to throw it into triple coverage too. He's down there. He's gonna send it. And then as Stafford
Fucking
kind of
Calvin down there somewhere.
yeah, exactly. And as Stafford kind of gets a little older and whatnot, I feel like he's trying to still show that he's still got it. Carter's 3-time champ, and I think he's trying to show that he still has what it takes to keep it rolling. But also on the flip side of that comparison between Carter and Justin, I feel like Carter's been trying to constantly grind and improve to, maybe one day give Justin a run for money, and those strokes are going to be neck and neck versus, the handicaps of the past where Jay was giving Carter, 3 aside, so to speak, or stuff like that. So I have Matt Stafford for Carter.
I have two thoughts here. One, I love the idea that Carter is the highest evolved Pokemon of Dan. I think that's hilarious.
Correct.
My second thought, we're talking about him and he walks away.
You never know. You never know with that guy.
The middle of the podcast.
Said he might be getting a phone call from someone. There's
Went to get a hat in the middle of
right
his segment. And he's muted.
Yeah, he's Frat Stafford right now, though.
Oh my god!
I had to get my hat, get into character. My backwards fitted.
Well, I had him as KD, so around the same. Sometimes you just bring the ball down the court, give it to him, and then everybody steps out of the way. Maybe I'm not as he's quite a bit more loyal than KD. I'll say that, but ignore the jersey color, and I think that's pretty similar comp.
I had Luka for a lot of the similar reasons that Dan said about Stafford. Gunslinger, hooper, like guy gets a bucket no matter how it's done. The one thing that I think Luka and Stafford both have in common that also would go with Carter here is Carter's notoriously slow pre-shot routine. Stafford and Luka are also slow.
That is coming from you. That's criminal.
Not me. I don't have a slow pre-shot routine.
So next up, Chase Bierbauer, huh?
Chase Bierbauer is up.
He plays golf. This guy is, the closest thing we have to Bryson, and he's not really all that close. He thinks the game exceptionally well. The fundamentals and the swing knowledge is there. I would maybe consider it sometimes he knows too much about the game. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, maybe on Fortnite with the fellas, is Chase knows so much that he's at the point where it starts to leak in to be too much, and he's trying to tinker and overthink it. Sometimes that can get in his way. But
His
I mean,
brain may
he
have outraced his ability.
he is the scientist when it comes to navigating the golf course and golfing his ball. So he is the quintessential plays golf kind of guy for me.
Yeah, I have him as plays golf as well, which if you know where Chase came from as somebody that plays golf. He used to be the ultimate golfer. GAWLFER golfer. Loved Phil Mickelson growing up. Would absolutely bash driver everywhere. Had the confidence that he could get up and down from absolutely anywhere. He was, back when he was playing golf a lot, he was the ultimate golfer for sure. And now he's swung all the way to the other end of the pendulum where Carter and Dan are trying to get to. And now he plays golf for sure. He's thinking about everything that's going into the hole, working it from the green back, trying to play it the proper way. And yeah, now for sure he plays golf.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have him as plays golf as well. I haven't played around with Chase, but he seems like he's trying to strategize and map his way around the course, and just when you're constantly worried about trying to not find trouble, sometimes that's a way to find it. But I mean, Chase can play really well. I haven't seen too many bad rounds. Yeah, I guess the only round that I've really played with him is at the South Course with Jay. But no, I think from what Justin's told me and from past rounds, he has all the ability. He might be overthinking things a little bit. So, but I do that too. So I can't really talk much. So.
Any celebrity comparisons? I think we're all on the same page. Chase plays golf well.
Do you guys have any before I share mine?
No.
I compare him to Brock Purdy. He is just a super processor. He understands the coverages. He's able to audible when he needs to. Maybe doesn't have quite the arm talent. He's kind of, maybe you consider him a real late career Peyton Manning type, where maybe just the talent isn't there anymore, doesn't have the arm strength, isn't healthy enough to practice, every single day. Might be a little too busy with some Papa John's commercials or being a lawyer, that sort of thing. But yeah, just the ultimate thinker out there. So, Brock Purdy, Peyton Manning type.
I'm with it.
I like it.
I'm with it.
I was gonna throw Andrew Luck out there, but Andrew Luck,
Yeah,
he could throw the rock though.
Yeah,
But,
Andrew Luck, maybe if he injured his shoulder instead of his brain.
Hey, Chase can still hit the shit out of the ball. So
Yeah,
Chase is the first one to grab that little massage gun though when we get back to the Airbnb every time. So
your body's that big.
I don't know. Did you guys ever see him in shorts at the Kickstart?
I don't recall.
No. He's hiding some pretty gnarly scars on his knees. He's had several knee operations
Oh yeah,
from a child. So
his kneecap was on backwards.
it was. It's flipped around in there. It's unlucky.
Moving on to Cody Smith. I'm intrigued to hear what you guys think on him.
Cart, why don't you go first? He's kind of your nemesis out there.
I don't know if I would consider Cody a nemesis.
He's mine.
That being said, I have Cody as plays golf. He doesn't give me the to use Kyle's words, the vibes of somebody who's just kind of out there trying to hammer it in the hole as fast as possible. Just kind of a guy that wants to keep it in play and keep it simple and get out of there with whatever score he gets.
I'm with you on that one. I'm on him as plays golf. I've described him as a boa constrictor before because when you're especially in the singles match, he won't stop. It's just nickel dime, nickel dime, nickel dime, and he stacks together enough of those nickels and dimes. He's got a full dollar.
I have Cody as I have Cody as a golfer. I think Cody I've played probably the most rounds against him out of anyone on the trip, and it's just like it's so consistent. It's sickening, and he doesn't wow you at anything, other than the fact that he can recover like no other. Kyle, you and I have seen some wild shots from him. He's just he has this ability. No matter where he's at in the course, the next shot he's going to be probably lying the same and closer to the hole than you are. And I'm just it always happens to me. So that's just my personal opinion, but he's just got that dog in him for me. So I have him as golfer.
I'm with you guys in the plays golf. I think I hear what Dan's saying. He's getting at the idea that he's really got a really high compete level. He's really going to grind you down. But I think he plays within his means. He understands his own game very, very well. So I think for me, Cody's the type that plays golf.
I wouldn't hate even I think a good comparison could be like Steve Nash. He's he's gonna do some crazy shit that'll gives you shades of Hooper, but the core, the bare bones of his game maybe is play golf. I don't know. I think that's where I'd land there.
He's got some heavy Hooper tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you look at if I'm looking at his 2023 strokes gained statistics, so in Kickstart year 2, his worst round that year was the singles round, and he gained 2.25 strokes in that round. He was a killer. That was like his Steve Nash MVP year. He was really, really good that year, but he plays within his game. I like the comp for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I got my player comp for him was a little outside the box. I got him as a mosquito. This guy is just on ya in just the simplest way, just sticking ya, pissing you off. If you catch him, you can blow him up and get rid of him. But he's just nickel and diming you. You go on a nice camping trip and he's just getting you.
He's always there.
It's just not fun.
He's always there.
He's always going to be around.
He's there unless there's a softball game. Then he'll be there.
Well, yeah, there's more people out there that you can just
expose skin. Yeah,
but I think
when Justin and I played against Kyle and Cody at Pilgrims, we hit the 10th hole. We teed off. I lost my ball. It went so far left, and I was like, "Come on, Cody, hit the driver, do it." And he's like, "Nope, 5-iron."
No, I'm good. I'm good actually.
This
no
guy
thanks.
knows. He just stays in his own little world and gets the job done,
man. Yeah. Cody's fun. I miss him. I'm excited to see him. Hope he listens.
A fan favorite.
Do we think he listens to the program?
He doesn't listen to our group chat, so
fair.
Cody, if you're listening, let us know.
Cody doesn't think about the Kickstart until May 1st.
Cody, unmute our group chat, please.
Cody, if you're listening, say what's up. We miss you. Flop, also, if you're listening, say what's up. Now, the next guy, if I were to tell you that there's a guy who doesn't hit driver ever, has 2 kids, I think he's 30 plus, married, children. We're describing somebody that would more than likely lean plays golf. That being said, Cullen is just an absolute golfer to me. The guy plays with swagger. He's lifting his teammates up. He has no clue what happened to the hole before. He's only looking at the hole he's on. And that's it. If that's not a golfer, I'm not sure what is.
Yeah, he's a golfer.
Anybody disagree?
No,
Did we
I
say
have-
his
I mean,
name?
I have him as golfer.
Yeah, I said Cullen.
Okay.
yeah, the ultimate fan favorite. Actually, everybody's favorite partner on the trip. I think to have on your in your cart.
I've never gotten to play with him in my cart, but Chase is mine. I love playing with Chase. Chase and Dan.
Respect. Me too.
Dan, when the vibes are high, we're rolling. But Chase and Dan.
At
Um,
times, I wish I had Cohn's memory while on the course. Like, it would be probably beneficial to me.
I had him as plays golf for the reason kind of that you laid out, Kyle, and in your lead up that he literally hit driver one time. I think it was on number 6 at Pilgrim's Run, the hole that he could not recognize in the group chat. But you've talked me into it. He is a golfer, and I'll throw out kind of in that same vein his player comp to me, which is Larry Bird.
Larry
And
Bird.
he's going to show up to the course, look across at your cart and say, "Hey, just so you know, I'm only going left today." And then go out there and still beat you. Like he shows up, he's like, "Hey, you see this driver, the head cover staying on all day long? I'm just going to beat you with my 3-wood because I'm bored." So I think a player comp for Cullen Turzen, Larry Bird.
I'm with it. 100%. I'm with
I
it.
like that.
Those other two guys that side by side wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
Larry Bird, pretty tall though. Like if they were standing side by side, it would be
Headshots.
Yeah.
Headshots. It would be
headshots. Yeah, harder to tell.
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit, pretty ad nauseum actually. Dan Hendo, Dan the Beer Man, golfer or plays golf? I think we're all on the same
Golfer.
page.
Golfer.
Yeah,
Golfer.
golfer for sure.
Yeah. Golfer wants to play golf.
Yeah.
He's sitting there, all he can think about is playing golf, but that's not what he does. GAWLFER, golfer.
What's it?
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel is a great comp for Dan.
Wow.
But I had Westbrook and Baker Mayfield last time, so
Yeah.
same. It's the same guy. There's tons of them out there.
Just a firecracker. A guy that'll swing it out and win the game for the team, or it'll be a sad fall. But either it's one of the two. It's never in the middle, and it's so much fun.
It's as volatile as it gets.
Fishy, Fetty, Connor Fedoric, golfer or plays golf? Carter, you're probably the most qualified to answer this, as most of us on the program have only seen him play a handful of times at most. So
Connor Fedoric plays golf.
He does.
mhm.
You know, I don't know if there's many players on the trip that know their game better than Connor. I mean, we're talking about a guy that just refuses to aim his driver anywhere but 40 yards right of target. Just willing to live by the Fetty slice, die by the Fetty slice. Gets up by the green and is like, yeah, I have these wedges. I don't hit that one good, so I never hit it, and I'm not gonna. You know, I played, he, came up to Erie, and we played 2 rounds, and one of the rounds was going just fine. And I'm like, Connor, like maybe we try a little hybrid or a little fairway wood here. And he's like, yeah, like I can't hit those. And I'm like, maybe we should try to like start figuring out. And he goes for it and he's like, yeah, like can't. I'm more of a 5-iron guy here, like just kind of get it closer to the green. For a guy that's has his sights set on breaking 100. When he tees it up on one, he's trying to only hit it 99 times or less. He does everything he can to keep it in play and just advance it. You know, Mr. I'm taking my medicine even though I'm in the fairway kind of guy.
You're not going to
And
trick me into going for this green.
nope, like no, I can't hit it there, so I'm not gonna. Like, just plays the game, golfs his B, and you know, is always just chasing the lowest score he can by just avoiding danger at all costs.
I have this memory of Fetty. I thought it was hilarious. It was hole 10 at Diamond Springs. Very, very wide open hole. But there's a tree line that you drive through and then walk to the tee box. And the hole is very wide open. There's water on the right, but Betty's got this tree hanging in like his exact desired window for his ball flight. And he's just like, it's like, dude, there's so much fairway left, right, everything, but it's just like right exactly where he hits the ball every time. That's where his ball goes. He hits this thing, it fell into like the heather below the tee box. I was just like, this is insane. But he knows his game. He knows his game very well.
Utility putter, right, Carter? He now has a utility putter just in case.
Yeah, he has a ceremonial putter.
Yeah.
Someone
Not
called him.
unlike the golden putter.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
similar.
He got a gift. I can't remember if it was from his grandma or his aunt, and upgraded to a pretty nice looking tailor-made putter.
Yeah, it's goated.
Put a lot of time and effort into that decision, and has decided to keep the old Max Fly with the spray painted shaft and the hockey stick grip and the Jordan head cover in the bag for tap in purposes only. Just a guy that, like we said 100 times, is just not willing to forget who he is. He's a guy with the garage putter, and when it's time to break it out, he'll use it.
What do we got for a player comp here, or a celebrity comp on Fetty? I got a decent one.
Gosh.
Go for it. Let it rip.
Ryan Reynolds. Most everybody likes him, as far as I know, unless there's some weird stuff about Ryan Reynolds that I don't know about. Funny guy, nice guy. He plays the roles that he's supposed to play, and I haven't seen too much outside of that. But overall, a good time.
Decently good looking too.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Shout out Blake Lively.
Some
And
people
Missile.
think.
Yeah,
Something? Sure.
yeah.
I'm down with it. I like it
Sure.
a lot.
All right. I think this one's interesting. Jake Transit. Tricky. Captain of the Tornadoes. Anybody feel strongly here?
I think Tricky plays golf. I mean, we know him as a long ball hitter, a guy with some jam to his game, but he's another equipment junkie. Thinking about the swing, he came to me and interested in purchasing the launch monitor off me, and wanted to dial into the numbers and the specs, and guy with a couple different golf shafts or driver shafts that he can go switch around with. He informed me that right now he's got 14 or 15 swinging clubs in the bag right now. The fairway wood to 4-iron gap is pretty saturated for him. He's not sure where he's going to go at what courses. We might see a bag change between rounds from him this year. Another guy that just thinks about the game at such a fundamental level that I think it's hard to not categorize him as a guy that plays golf.
Any disagreements here?
I mean,
have-
I had him as a golfer.
Yeah.
I
So
think
did
he
I.
wants to be all those things that you just said, Kurt, but I think in practice and actuality out on the course, maybe he doesn't quite stick to it. I think he really badly wants to be somebody that plays golf, but at his core he's a golfer.
Yeah. I have him as golfer as well. My player comp is a golfer. I had him as Brooks Koepka. Not afraid of an equipment change. He's got his old trusty 3-iron, like Tricky's got his 2-iron, just kind of fail safe, but not a very vocal guy on the course. He just kind of goes out there, does his thing, usually impresses whoever he's golfing with to some degree. Just goes about his business quietly and usually performs really well. So I have golfer.
I was with Carter until I heard Brooks Koepka, so I'm in for I'm in for golfer. Brooks Koepka is also funny as fuck. If you guys
The
are
king of
unfamiliar,
one-line. Tricky and Cullen they both have fantastic one-liners. So
Tricky's one-liners are second to none. I've never met someone with funnier, quicker one-liners in my life. Joey Rotano.
I have Joey as plays golf. I haven't met him in person or played with him yet. So I guess that's my cop out here. But the guy's spent some money on some nice clubs. It sounds like he's hitting them well. So we'll see. So that's all I got.
I haven't seen his game in about 10 years. It's going directly against Dan here. It sounds like right now he's a golfer. Like
I have Joey as a golfer.
I have Joe as a golfer as well.
He's another gunslinger. He'll let it rip. He will think he can make the best shot possible on every single shot. Whether or not it hits is dependent on the day, but I got Joe as a golfer as well.
another guy that maybe wants to play golf, but once they're actually out there on the course, he's a golfer. That's just how he is.
Similar to Dan, actually. I think they have similar games, maybe slightly less volatile, lower ceiling, higher floor, but similar.
He's the middle evolution of Carter, and I'm actually the base for him. So
Everybody's got a Pokemon evolution.
yeah.
What would be a middle Pokemon that we could compare Joey to? I'm not very familiar with Pokemon anymore.
These comps are getting out of control, fellas. All right.
Ivysaur?
I was gonna say Bulbasaur.
I think
Bulbasaur is the
I
first
know.
one.
That's why I didn't. That
Yeah.
makes Dan Bulbasaur, which I don't think that fits.
Probably not.
Is Dan Charmander? And then that makes Joey
If we go Squirtle route,
Charmeleon?
that makes Carter Big Man Blastoise. Like,
But I think Carter might be Charizard.
I
Oh,
like
so-
myself as Charizard. I'm just a shit guy unless I'm loyal to you.
Yeah. It's kind of, if you can put that flame out, it's out for good. That might be the story of the conductors. But
Yeah.
I'll be back.
that conductor flames like the Olympic torch, you know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just doesn't go.
So
I got
Joey's whatever.
I got that JFK Eternal Flame.
R.I.P. So Joey's the middle Pokemon between Charmander and Charizard. That's what
Yeah.
we're landing on here. I would sure. I think we're all going to be on the same page here, but we'll see. Another host of this program, Justin McPhail, golfer.
Justin McPhail plays golf.
He is the epitome of playing golf, the LeBron James of playing golf, if you will.
Plays golf.
I mean, I've had in pocket conversations a bunch of times. Justin McPhail at the Kickstart and Justin McPhail at every other golf situation are so different. I mean, the way that he talks trash, like I'll get up and down from there. It's no big deal. That's good. Pretty good for you. Like, He's just not like that. I don't know why he turns into that alter ego at the Kickstart, but at his core, he's a play golf kind of guy.
I'll agree.
I have a player comp. I wrote down player comps for you three.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I have Justin as a Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
Just like very well-rounded game. He's so casual about amazing things. Like every round that I play with him, he does something that leaves my jaw on the ground, and he's just like, whatever. MVP does it all. Doesn't really think too much of it, which is baffling, but it's how he's wired.
I mean, separate argument for a separate day. I'm sure this will get Preston's panties in a bunch. Nikola Jokic, top 10 player of all time to me.
Job is done. We can go home now.
Yeah.
Myself.
Kyle Steffi. Yeah.
Kyle Steffi, that guy.
Kyle Steffi plays golf.
Kyle Steffi plays golf for sure.
Kyle, you play golf.
I got Kyle as Nick Lindstrom.
Okay.
Just a good first pass kind of guy, get off. You know, it's hard to score on him when he's on the ice. You know, just a guy that knows his game. Not really affected by the big moment as we've seen. I don't think there's a guy on the trip that has better knowledge of where the dots are and how to use them. But in my anecdotes that I've heard about him and from playing against him, it's the thing where he looks at the scorecard and he's like, "Oh, I got a dot here. I'm making bogey.
Lock it in.
Bogey's par on this hole."
I had this is for you, Kyle. You'll appreciate this, but it's another basketball one. I have you as Peyton Pritchard. Yeah,
I don't even know who that is, which makes it a perfect comp.
He is the backup point guard for the Boston Celtics.
Odds-on leader for sixth man of the year.
Yeah, odds-on leader for
back-to-back Carlisle Frazier.
The guy, the team's loaded, so you can only have 5 guys on the floor at a time. Peyton Pritchard should be a starter on a team, but he's not. And the grueling long grind of the regular season, you're gonna sit Jason Tatum and you're gonna sit Jaylen Brown a couple games for load management reasons, and those are the games that Peyton Pritchard for whatever reason goes off and scores 40. You don't expect the Celtics to win that game. You don't expect Kyle to beat Justin with a bunch of dots, but he finds a way and he goes off, surprises a lot of people, and everyone's going to remember that. So I have Peyton Pritchard.
I have Kyle as Eli Manning. He pulled off one of the greatest, most memorable upsets of all time as a complete underdog. Doesn't get quite enough credit for, maybe he gets too much credit, maybe he doesn't get enough credit for how good his career actually has been. But I think people remember Eli Manning for the Super Bowl against Tom Brady. And I think a lot of people are going to remember Kyle's lasting legacy as that complete dick slapping he gave me last year when he gained 12 strokes on the field. You would have put every single other player on the course that day in a body bag and shipped them home to their mom.
You told him to pick up his ball while on the tee box on a hole. I thought that was the most absurd thing I've seen in a long time.
Well, he hit it on the green with 2 strokes. What do you want me to do?
It's true.
I mean, if I've peaked, I've peaked. My draft stock should fall. Throw me in the 7th cart. Grab me there. You haven't made a determination on where my draft stock is yet, which is concerning.
I've already made one on one of the high handicappers. I'm afraid that if I make another, I'm gonna get handcuffed, and we're gonna have a lot of dots.
Yeah. Preston Beard,
Golfer.
golfer. for
Golfer.
sure.
Hardcore golfer.
But not like the Luca golfer, but like and this is an old comparison that I've used before, but like the Pat Beverly type of golfer. Heavy defense, heavy
Yeah.
chirping. He's going to play his game, and you're going to play his game too.
I had Preston as Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better known for things other than how good he is, but it is also actually extremely good scorer. I think it's a good comp.
He'll lick your nose. He'll talk
He
shit
might.
right to your face. He'll bury one far down on you. Like,
Yeah. Get back in the locker room. He's going to celebrate with you, pour you some birdie juice. You know?
In Team Canada's locker room, making fun of McDavid and Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
Liam King. Redeemed, I think, maybe. I guess the chat will decide.
Yeah. I have no clue what his game is, but whatever he's doing now, he should stop that, and he should be the type of guy that aspires to play golf. If he's going to have success in this year's Kickstart, that's the way he's going to have to go about it. Is just understand his game, keep an extra scorecard on him so he knows where the dots are at all times, and try and take advantage of it.
Yeah,
I
go ahead, Dan.
I have misplays golf. Sounds like no one has more to prove this year than Liam.
Yeah, that's probably true.
There's a lot of negativity out surrounding Liam, so I hope he's able to prove us all wrong.
Me too.
I believe him as plays golf. All I can think about when I think about Liam's game is him going back to the stock grandpa swing and just getting back to what works.
I know we've used Baker Mayfield as Dan before for a different reason. I would say Baker Mayfield for Liam, as people do forget Baker Mayfield was good for the Browns and then wasn't good for the Browns and then got cut from the Panthers and the Rams before becoming great in Tampa Bay. I've seen Liam be good at golf before. I still think Liam's not bad at golf. I think we're inching towards the LA Rams part of Baker Mayfield's career right before Stafford gets hurt and right before Baker takes over, balls out, and gets shipped over to Tampa Bay to be the starter. I think we're right there.
I got Liam as the ugly duckling.
Come on.
Early on, a lot of dirt being thrown on his name, but the reality is he's got a lot of beauty inside, and it's just going to take us a little bit to see it. It's going to be a great storybook ending when Liam goes out there and wins low net and unsung hero.
Shock the world type stuff. Miracle on Ice. Mike Eruzione type stuff.
I think we're all on the same page for the next one. I got Mac as a golfer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golfer.
Mac's a golfer. He self-admittedly has told me that for sure he wants to start trying to play golf. He's a golfer though, by all accounts. There's no denying it.
Any celebrity comparisons for Mac? I think we're all on the same page. He's a golfer.
I have to think real quick. What do you got, Cart? You got
I'm trying to think. He's just somebody that maybe doesn't know his game. Gets over the ball and there's one option. And he's just going to do that one as hard as he can. A lot of times it works out, sometimes not so much. But he's someone who's gets out there in the sixth, seventh hole and he's looking for answers a little bit. He can't find them.
Lil Wayne.
Whoa.
I mean, 3-time champ. We know he's got it. We know he's got it. Sometimes there's a miss. But my God, when he's hitting, it's so fun. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good. Real G's move in silence. Like lasagna.
I don't know, bro. I see. Okay, I was leaning more towards Dan Skipper.
Locker room guy for sure.
Ultimate competitor. Maybe might think that he's a tight end. Everybody else knows that he's not. Even sometimes he might tell you he's a tight end. He'll tell you he's eligible, and sometimes they just don't even believe him. But sure, Lil Wayne might make sense too, I guess. There's 3 guys, you put them in a line, you never spot the difference.
It'd be tough too. There'd be a little bit of a weight discrepancy, but you put them all on the same diet for a year, you probably are confused.
Agree.
I haven't seen him play. I don't think Dan has. Nate Nordstrom. I've seen one swing actually from Nate, which makes me think he's something. But Carter Juster.
Pretty pure swing. Another lefty.
Yeah, another lefty.
Just from the minimal knowledge base, I'm just gonna go on a limb and throw out a plays golf kind of guy.
Yeah, I think he's a plays golf guy. I think maybe he's the same. Maybe he's a plays golf guy the same way that I described Esser as a plays golf guy, where he just he understands his game. He's trying to play position to position. I don't really, I haven't seen him play outside in a long, long time, but in the simulator, he seemed like he's got potential to become a golfer, but I think maybe right now he plays golf. Preston will let us know in the chat if that's wrong, but
yeah.
I have him as plays golf as well, just minimal knowledge. So
I have minimal knowledge, but similar to Esser, I saw one, like the first time I ever met Esser, it was his first swing. I'm like, ooh, that's nice. And so I want to just think he's a golfer, but I have no clue. The way it sounds like he gambles, it feels like he would be a golfer, but hard to say.
I don't know, that diagram he sent us of a Super Bowl. He puts the technical time in.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Last but certainly not least, our draft analyst and expert, Parker Mitchell.
I think Parker Mitchell plays golf.
I think Parker Mitchell plays golf as well.
I have no idea.
Plays golf.
He's never seen him play.
Never seen him play.
It's
been around him a lot.
It's the most steady, consistent, down the middle, on the green, 2-putt style of golf. Like what I was referring to as far as playing more boring golf, I saw Parker play that way, and honestly, it was very, very effective. So I learned something from him that not being the longest hitter doesn't necessarily hurt you. Like, you just got to keep it in play. Greens and regs, maybe make a birdie occasionally. If not, 2-putt for a par or whatever on a par 4 and get out of there. So, if you lose the hole, good for whoever you're playing, but consistency that, over that course of time, the length of a round, he's probably going to come out on top or come down to the wire. So
I remember saying it last year. He so much reminds me of Fat Perez minus the fat part.
How about down?
In the sense that like he's hilarious, he's a vibes guy. He'll listen to music in the cart. He'll just be hanging out, but also just be nickel and diming you the whole way up the course, and he's not going to nuke it off the tee. You're not going to hear his swing in the back of one of my videos. But he'll hit it straight down there, and he'll hit it straight on the green, and then he'll two putt, and he'll walk away like singing whatever songs on the speaker.
It's a John Stockton type of guy.
He golfs like he's just like he's in the backyard mowing the lawn, and it's just like he's got the headphones in.
My God, he's a Saturday morning dad.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna get him some Dad Force One golf shoes. Complete the trifecta, dude. He's got the headphones in, mowing the lawn, going about his business. Comes out at the end, he's shot like a couple over par, maybe. Like,
this is a podcast exclusive because I'm not going to send it in the chat without his permission. But the picture's so funny that I have to show you. You said lawnmower in Parker. There's an iconic picture of him mowing the lawn. I don't know if you could see it totally.
Oh, I love this picture.
But it's so awesome.
Fuck, he's jacked.
I was gonna, yeah.
Kind of looks like FP a little bit there.
Yeah. Any other comps for Parker?
No, I think you guys hit it right on the head. That's excellent.
Love it. Well, that'll do it. That's everybody. Did we miss anybody? Hope not. That would suck.
I don't believe so.
Hope not.
No.
Unless you want to do Bomber.
Oh, Flop.
Flopperski.
Never met him in person. We've known him for 6 years.
Did we not? He was on
Bomber
our
plays
list.
golf. His game is the same as yours, Kyle. he knows what he's getting into. He's played golf for quite a bit longer, so he's got a little bit more distance. He's got a little bit, he's a little bit more consistent. I think it's where Kyle Steffi's game is going to be in 2 to 3 years. But I think unbelievable putter. Unbelievable
flat stick on that guy.
He is, I guess his player comp would be Jordan Spieth 2015. Just it curves all over the place. It ends up kind of in the fairway, and then he gets it on the green somewhere, and it just goes in. Nobody really can figure out how he got there, and all of a sudden at the end of the round, he tells you he shot net 72, and you're like, there's no way. But it turns out he's right.
Chicken and rice kind of guy. Pack your lunch, Tupperware.
Yeah, student of the game.
Sorry, I got to eat all 6 of these gummy worms so I get the macros right.
It's a proper amount of amino acids.
This is the second time I've done this to Flop in the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, but love you, Flop. Miss you. Text us if you're still with us. Sweet. That closes it out. Any last remarks? It was a hell of an episode.
It's a dense one for the people. Don't skip through. You'll miss something. And let us know in the comments some more player comps for some of the guys if you're watching.
Would love to hear him. Dan, thank you so much again for joining us. Always a blast having you on the program.
Thanks for having me, fellas. It was fun.
Thanks for all you do for the Kickstart.
We appreciate you, Dan.
Someone somewhere does something. I don't know who, but they get the job done for the boys.
They call him the Miller Lite Santa Claus.
Yeah. Got my Miller Lite ski mask on when I go do all my damage.
He's got that Labatt Shiesty on. He's the beer bandit.
How many more days till the Kickstart, fellas? What are we down to?
60 something maybe?
Ooh.
Yeah. I could tell you that actually.
We're almost 2 months out.
Yeah, 2 days from now we'll be 2 months out on the dot.
Yep. 63 days away right now
I'm gonna come.
from the draft.
Weather's turning. We're gonna get some rounds in outside.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting my first round in tomorrow.
Oh, that's nice.
Very
I'm
impressive.
I'm going low.
Yeah, and then he's gonna post at 86.
My gin is inactive.
We gotta get that straightened out, brother. 18 birdies ain't inactive. I know
No.
that.
I switched off that. Can't find me. I'm a ghost.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks again for listening.
Nice
thanks
talking to you,
three
boys.
for joining. Before we go, Justin, you want to announce the name of your child?
I hope my mom's still watching at this point. She's really been